The story of Rocky is one of the most inspirational boxing movies of its time. The story is about this bum with a tender heart that makes a living as a thug and doing boxing matches in the streets of Philadelphia. He becomes the heavyweight championship of the world. It was a miracle given to him that he had the opportunity to box the reigning champion, Apollo Creed, but it was through his hard work and determination that he won the title. This whole story was inspired by the Chuck Wepner and Muhammad Ali fight. Chuck Wepner was a rookie boxer that had no chance of winning against the legend that is Muhammad Ali. The crowd went wild when Chuck Wepner landed a blow that knocked Muhammad Ali to the ground. Muhammad Ali ended up winning the fight in the 15th round. The whole idea that Chuck Wepner, a rookie, had a chance at the heavyweight title was the inspiration of Rocky. Sylvester Stallone wrote Rocky 3 days after he saw the fight, and the movie mimics the fight between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner as Apollo Creed fights Rocky, but in the movie, the underdog wins. The story of the real actor, who is also the screenwriter, Sylvester Stallone, and the character Rocky are also very similar. Rocky is not a very smart character, just like the actor was growing up. He was expelled from 12 different schools as a kid because he had family problems, and his outlet was poems and paintings, but his real dream was to be on the big screens. He was very poor, just like Rocky was. When he was 29 years old, he started acting. He was not very successful. He had to clean out lions' cages so that he could have money to sleep on the bus. He had to sell his dog Buttkiss so that he could feed his family. He had $106 in the bank account and a wife that was pregnant. Using the story that he had written in a few days, he convinced a couple of producers to make his movie. The film was on the super low budget with only $960,000. The clothes he wore in the movie are his actual clothes straight from his closet. Originally, the producers wanted to sell the story to a Hollywood actor, and they wanted it for $265,000. They wanted some other younger and more well-known actor to be the main role of the movie. From the start, he wanted to do the play and be the main role. A quote from Rocky: "I told my wife I'd rather bury it in the backyard and let caterpillars play Rocky. I would have hated myself for selling out, the way we hated most people for selling out. My wife agreed and said she'd be willing to move into a trailer in the middle of the swamps if needed be." Now, this movie would gross over $40 million. Sylvester Stallone was in the same place Rocky was. Both were dirt poor and went the distance to reach success through their hard work. This movie would have been completely different if Rocky was just a bum in Philly. His character was not just a rough cut on the outside, but it is his soft inside that makes the movie so powerful. We can see Rocky's soft spot in animals, which is very odd even though he is this thug who goes around breaking thumbs for money. He was always nice to the people around him and tried to assist others even though they did not want the help. Because Rocky has this tender heart, it makes him very sympathetic. He even struggles with the big fight the night of when he expresses his feelings to his wife, Adrian. Even through his hard work and determination, he still has doubts within himself. He gets nervous and has feelings. He is not this rock-solid superhero. He is a human being. Because he is a very dynamic character, it makes him so relatable. He has fake people in his life once he gets famous too. A quote from Rocky: "It's funny. There's a great herd of people who are holding back compliments for years and are now coming forth and saying, 'I like you.' It happened to Rocky too. I feel like saying to them, 'Where were you when I was living in Hotel Barf, eating hot and cold, running disease?' And they'd say, 'Oh, we were just holding back, Sly, because we didn't want your head to get all swelled up.'" This is seen in the movie when the scene with Mickey. Mickey never helped Rocky before, and he only came around when he got his big chance. What makes Rocky inspirational is that he was not this completely thug person. What makes him so relatable to the audience was through his struggles, because that's what made him human. The fact that he was nothing special, he was less than an ordinary man, that through his training and through his hard work was what made him successful. It was the fact that he would get up at 4 in the morning and go on his runs, as Mr. Sloan would do anything for his family. Rocky came from nothing. He was not the smartest. He was not successful, and the only thing he had was his one chance for greatness. Rocky is not a superhero. He is not destined for greatness. Look at his life story. He had family problems, he was expelled from 12 different schools, and he had $106 in the bank account. And this movie alone grossed over $40 million. The message here is that no matter what situation you come from or what you were born with, you can be successful through your hard work. That does not matter your background or what happened to you in the past. This movie shows the audience something within themselves that they can change their lives. Your life is in your hands, and this movie inspires people to be the best person that they can be.